I'm a mother of two monsters, have now turned into two cutie boys, lovely boys. After quite a long period of hard work, my husband, we both doing small little business lah. Yeah. I still remember the first parenting workshop I attended was like 5 years ago, when my boys were, the elder one was 8, younger one was 6, because I encountered some problem with the elder one refusing to go to school. Yeah, he even like, when I'm forcing him to go, he even like threatened me. He would rather run away, or yeah, kind of thing lah, which I don't know how to handle. So during that time, I heard that there is a workshop called parenting workshop. Yeah. So that time I was like, I'm lost. I don't know how to handle the situation. So I invited my husband. I said, why don't we go for this workshop, see if it could help. Wow, suddenly all the memory pop up again. Like my hands started to shake. Yeah, the workshop indeed helped me a lot. At first, I was, why make me go there? Because I'm thinking like, I want to learn something, how to handle my son. But at the end, when the workshop is totally not teaching us how to handle our son. It's more like, how should I say? I would say I really learned a lot. Like, it's like a turning point for me. Without the workshop, I think it will be a disaster lah in the family. Yeah, and of course the trainer that time was built in. Yeah, it was really a fantastic workshop. I mean, I am the one who never liked to attend workshops, training, but this parenting workshop, I really recommend all parents to attend. Of course, I expect a lot of tips from the trainer. For an example, like when my son throw tantrum, how I can handle and solve the problem now and then. But it turned out to be not, this is not the story in the training. Instead of giving us tips, the trainer will, maybe I can say, instead of giving us method, the trainer let us as a parent see from a different angle what actually trigger them and trigger us. Because when we are with children, we have a lot of like expectation. Children can easily like push our button. Yeah. So instead of getting tips on how to get the children not to push our button, instead the trainer said we should, as an adult, how to remove the button, how we can remove the button. So most of the time, after the workshop, I realized that the issue doesn't created by the children itself. Actually, all the anger, all the frustration come from us as a parent. I get to see every time, after the workshop, I get to see every time when I get upset or angry with my kids, I used to scold. I even cane them actually. But after the workshop, I see kids differently. I see them from a different angle. I mean, that's why I said from a monster. Before I attend the workshop, I see them as a monster. After the workshop, it's like a magic, it's like a miracle. I see them as an angel, as an angel. Not only my kids, I see every kids are angel in my eyes. Yeah, actually, the anger, the frustration, I realized that it's because of my childhood. After the workshop, I really treated my kids differently. Of course, it's not like instant. It's not like instant. Of course, there is still anger, there is still frustration, like scolding, yelling. I'm still human. I can't like, it's not like I can change just like that. So slowly it takes time. I practice what the trainer taught us. I remember right after the workshop, we came back to Kuantan, to our hometown. On the very same weekend, we brought the children to the beach with the cane, the rotan. I told them we are going to throw away the rotan. So we were having like a very great fun time at the beach that day. And before we leave, I told my son to dig a hole. I said, let's bury the cane. Mommy don't want to cane you anymore in future. So my younger son was so happy and he buried the cane. And before we leave, my elder son stopped and he said, no, let's bring back the cane so you can use it in the future again when I'm naughty. I said, no, I won't do that to you again. So we leave without the cane that evening. Of course, it's not like magic. When right after I throw my cane, my kids will like become good boy. Of course, they will like test my limit. Oh, no more caning, so I can be whatever I want. So of course, a lot they are trying to like pushing my buttons lah. They. So of course, the mommy is smarter now. I will shift my button here so you cannot push. I shift here, 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 here. And of course, it took me like a while to really remove the button. And until one stage that my eldest son said, Mommy, what happened? You don't get angry easily now. Yeah. And I still remember clearly, I overheard his conversation with his schoolmate. The other friend asked him, is your mom strict? My elder son said, she used to be a very strict mom, but now no more. Then the friend asked, what happened? Then my son will say, he told his friend she attended a parenting workshop that changed her to a good mom now. And it was quite sad. I heard the other kids say, oh, I want to send my mom too. So I was so happy that time. Even a kid can tell the difference yeah, what happened to her mom before and after. I didn't manage to get him to go back to school instantly. Actually, it took me really quite a long period. He stopped schooling at 9 from the first Chinese school. I changed him to another Chinese school, and he stopped halfway. That time he was 9. He chuti like for 6 months before I transferred him to another private school. Yeah, and it didn't ended up well also. Of course, in between a lot of like drama lah. Refusing to go to school. I'm forcing him again. It's like suddenly my button is back. I'm too worried that what will happen to him in future if he don't go to school. I'm like, I'm so stressed. That's all of a sudden all my anger comes back. Yeah, I really no mood to do anything. Not long after that lockdown, MCO in 2020, the first lockdown. So it's I mean the lockdown is actually a very good timing for me. I can stay at home. I spend really a lot of quality time with my kids. And slowly I see changes in my son. He's happier. Before this, he's like, he don't even want to step out from the house until one stage he hide himself in the room. When there is guests come to my house, he will go upstairs and lock himself the whole afternoon. He refused to see any outsider. So during the lockdown time, we spend a lot of time together. I will spend time with him, like attention, the attention that he needed. So after a while, I see changes in his behavior. He's happier. Of course, it's not like few months time. It took me like 1 or 2 years. Yeah, the reason why he's not attending the school, yes. Earlier on, I thought he is lazy. It's too nice to stay at home with aircon, with computer or handphone. After until one day when I wanted to send him to school, one drama happened again. Of course, I mean I did something with the teacher lah on how to fish him to the school. So and he end up he went into the car. I drove him to the school. Like before we reached the school, he's like crying, started to cry. Asked me to stop sending him. I said why? I said you are already in the car. He said, I'm too afraid to go. I said, no, no such thing as too afraid. You are big now, big boy now. So I was quite mean at that time. He was crying, begging me. Even he was trying to jump off the car. Yet I didn't stop my car. I just drive. Uh, of course, he didn't jump lah. And like until the junction, we can see the school. He was like, he kneeled down in the car. He kneeled down. Yeah, he kneeled down and begged me, Mom, please don't send me. I'm I'm very scared. At that point, I wake up. I mean, I'm trying to test him whether he's lazy or that is something that he's afraid of. So obviously, he's afraid of something. So I didn't send him to school that day. We stopped on a side and he was crying in the car and I'm crying. And I went to the back of the car. I hugged him and we both cried together like for 5 or 10 minutes until I told him just cry out loud. I said, cry as long as you can, as long as you want. I mean, really cried out loud that day. After like 10 minutes, I said, why don't we go for a breakfast? And you are not going to the school today. Why not we go? So we just go to the breakfast. After the breakfast, suddenly he said, Mom sent me to the school. I was shocked. I said, are you sure? And he said, yes. So I just sent him lah. Before he went down, he said one thing in Chinese, 死就死啦. Then he ran into the school. I don't know what he means by that. 死就死. Yeah. Yes. It took me like few months or so. I mean, I didn't ask him. Of course, he don't know how to tell me what actually made him so afraid of going to school. Later, when I think back what happened for the past few years, I recall that when he was 9, when he was still in the Chinese school, at the first Chinese school, when he refused to go to the school and we are already at the school inside the car, the teacher was like, pull him out from the car. And he was so angry and so scared. He was like running at the car park, and at the end he hid himself under one of the car, under the sun, 12:30 in the afternoon. And everybody in the classroom, from the canteen, the teachers, the students, came out, surrounded us, and watched like TVB drama lah. It took us like half an hour to persuade him to come out from under the car. I think that really gave him a terrible trauma. And of course, the teacher, they cane, they punish. Actually, even after the parenting workshop, after 2 years, I'm still not able to solve the school problem. So in the year of 2020, a second parenting workshop was announced. So the old mama suddenly come back again. I'm thinking, oh, maybe I should learn some more tips again in this workshop. Of course, it turned out it's not like tips lah. It's not like you attend workshop, your problem is solved. A lot of homework practice that you need to do. During the first workshop, I realized that I shouldn't cane, scold, or yell at my children anymore. So I stopped. It's not like stop instantly, to be frankly. Sometimes I still hit them with my hand, even though no more cane. I still yell, but slowly, it get lesser, and I stop. So after the parenting workshop, what changes me or us in the family was I see kids more cheerful, husband less stressed, because I'm the one who will always yell, scold, the whole environment in the family was full of stress lah. When they see me, it's like, after a while, I changed my parenting style. I see kids happier. They are more willing to share their story, because last time when they share, if something I feel not right, I will correct them or I will scold them. But now it's like I feel blessed that they will tell me all the story, all the bad and good story, and I listen it with an open heart. no more judgment. So yeah, even can see my husband happier lah. And of course, it doesn't really solve all my struggle yet until another parenting workshop was announced in year 2020. So I decided to attend again and see what I can learn again. Yeah, good news was without me go and ask people to attend, not one of like the only sister-in-law I have came and asked me, what is parenting workshop all about? And so she said, you always tell us you used to see kids as a monster before workshop, and now they are like an angel after the workshop. What made you shift? I mean, she herself come and ask me because she see improvement in me, in my kids. So I said, just attend the workshop lah. I said, and without me enrolling her, she come, she paid, and she joined the workshop. Actually, I can't remember specifically during the second workshop. One thing I realized is that I still not able to get my son to go back to the school, even after the second workshop. But I started to accept it. What will happen if he's not going to school? He's only 10 at that time. All this, what will happen? How about what will happen in his future? How is he going to survive? He's only 10. And it shifted me. I accepted it actually. Nothing is wrong, not going to school. He might not able to be a lawyer, a doctor, but he still can survive being a hawker, even a rubbish collector. Yeah, I mean, most important thing is you survive happily. You survive happily. It's not all about your career. So from there onwards, I started to change the topic. Hey, when are you going to school? How? Why? This bad things will happen to you. Instead of all this topic, I changed to, it's okay, darling. Even though if you are not attending school, mommy still love you as who you are. Most importantly is now you live your life to the fullest as a kid. Just go and play. And I said, as long as you are healthy, I'm happy. And I can see a shift in him also. After I stopped talking about going back to school, I see changes in his mood. Yeah. He's like happier. During bedtime, I try to have like pillow talk with him almost every night. Of course, we didn't make it every night lah. I can see him more open in telling me his feeling. So we share more on feelings. Slowly, I see him started to like willing to join his cousin to play, less anger. Yeah, so me also less stress lah this time. I'm like finally letting go something. Yeah, he's like relief also. We don't talk about this anymore. I mean, after I stopped forcing him to go back to the school, I can see he's like less stress. Me also less stress. It's like, yeah, I let go. No more forcing. I don't think so. Forcing him is good choice lah. Yeah, even though of course I got stressed from outsider, from parents, from my siblings, even from his cousin, even from friends. They will start asking, "Are you sure? Is this a good choice that you are not forcing them to school?" I said, "What can I do?" He said, they will say, "Just cane them lah." I said, "No, cane is definitely no. No more caning in my dictionary," I said, just wait lah and see lah. Of course, school is important. Of course, it's important. Until one day, another workshop called DYC in discovering your child with a different trainer called KH. This time, I think I should go and attend this workshop again. This workshop is a new thing. Maybe probably I can learn something new. And of course, during this workshop was different from parenting workshop. In this workshop, there's a lot of realization, a lot of realization on me. I even see them more differently now. Even after the 2 parenting workshop, deep down inside me, I still have a lot of expectation without I myself realize it until I attend DYC, discovering your child. Oh, damn, still have so many expectation. And because of expectation, and there will be disappointment. So, and this will make me stress on and off lah. So during this discovering your child workshop, I still remember very, very clearly that there was one night the trainer KH told us that go after our child is asleep, sit beside them, stare at their face and think, what else you want from this kid? I did that. It went blank for a while. I was trying to dig, what else am I expecting from this kid? Actually, nothing. Nothing. I just, what I want from him was be healthy, be happy, be yourself. That's all. That's all. Yeah. Yeah, after the workshop, a big shift for me again. A big shift for me again. Less, still have expectations sometimes, but won't really like stress out because of that expectation. I'm more aware. I'm more aware. Yeah, I just want them to be happy, healthy. So even after the second parenting workshop, my problem was not solved, and I attended the third one, which is called Discovering Yourself, your Child. So during the DYC workshop, someone brought out this topic like, should we discuss our financial issue in front of the children? And suddenly it's like thing inside my head. I recall I did discuss this with my son one morning during his first day after the exam. I told him, oh, got exam tomorrow, so you better do good because your school fees is not cheap. I thought I'm using this reverse psychology that I can make him study better. So because wasted so many years, I didn't go to school. But to my surprise, no, it didn't happen the way I want. The next morning, he told me that I don't want to go to school. I'm like, I got stunned lah. You were so happy yesterday, and suddenly this morning you tell me that you are not going. So I think this is the issue lah. Why he's not going to school again for the third or fourth time? I can't remember. Yeah. So it's the money issue that I mentioned. Of course, I brought this out the next day during the device, not the next day, the next week lah, to my trainer, KH. I told him about this. And yeah, I'm so lucky that I attended this workshop. So the trainer told me it's not late. I still can reboot it. So of course, we discussed how we should go about it lah. And after a while, like, of course, I bring him in the bedroom, pillow talk again, because I realized that pillow talk is the best time for us to talk, and the best time he will really listen. He will really listen. We can really go really deep. So I told him that our family financial issue has become better now. Mommy and daddy did some small investment, and we can see there will be some money coming in lah. Of course, I didn't mention about school. So he start asking, oh, really? What investment that you did? How much you will make from there? So from there, I know this is the one of the root cause that he's not going to school again. So he's like very curious about how our money is coming. So of course, I make some story also lah. Yeah, I tell him, yeah, the money coming is like just ngam for your school fees, little bit extra for our holiday, year-end holiday. Yeah, I see a shift in him instantly. Actually, he's like more cherished that time, like flowers started to bloom. I can feel that lah. Even though it's light off, I can't see his face. Yeah, it's the feeling that I can feel. And after a few days, after this conversation, few days after that, he came and tell me, Mom, I want to go back to school. I said, wow, what make you want to go back to school? Of course, he don't know how to tell. He said, just want to go back lah. You don't ask so much lah. So yeah, of course, didn't go back to school instantly. And yeah, so yeah, and that time he was 12, and this year he's 13, and he went back to school already since March. Many people ask me, what have I done? How can I make him go back to school? Even the teachers ask, I read my siblings, my friends. I said, actually, I did nothing. I just shower him with unconditional love, trust, and a lot of unconditional love, trust, and connection lah. Connection. I feel that we are connected again. Yeah. To me, this is what all parents should do. unconditional love and trust is the main thing lah. There was one day that when I was doing my housekeeping, I saw my notes where I jot down during my 3 workshops. I started to read back all the notes, and I realized that the struggle had been dragged for like 5 years, 5 long years. Of course, in between, I do think I want to give up. But when I wake up in the morning, it's like a new day for me. I will like, no, 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 no. I won't give up. I won't give up. So based on the note, I try and error, practice what I have learned from my trainers. When I look back from the first day, what happened, my son refused to go to school until today. It's like 5 years. He finally said, I want to go back to school. My hand is shaking. So it's like jackpot lah. Like jackpot for me. Yeah.